Hello, everyone. This is Linda Drummond with Network in Action. And today I have the privilege of speaking with James Vincent. Hi, James. How are you doing?
I'm well, Linda. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. James, let's begin by telling everyone your company name and what it is that you do.
Yeah, it's Integrity Mortgage and Financial Inc., and I'm a loan officer.
And how did you get into this industry?
I had a background in call centers about 20 years ago here in Colorado Springs. Call centers, telemarketing were a really, really big thing. And I had a couple of jobs in telemarketing and call centers. And my first job in the mortgage business was with Russell, who I actually work for now. And it was heavy with outbound calls. And my background with telemarketing and being in call centers really matched up really well with the first company that Russell and I worked at together. And so it was just one of those kind of synergy things. I was at that point in time young, still super motivated, but really just excited about the opportunity and ended up being a good fit and got into it with Town and Country Credit and just haven't looked back, to be honest.
That's a great story. I love that. Now, I know from our previous conversation, you've got over 20 years doing this. So tell me, would you mind sharing a success story that you've had?
Mortgages are tough. Today, they're tougher than they've probably ever been in the 20 years that I've done them. So we always want to make sure that we're doing our homework. We've got an in-house underwriter here, so we review the deals, and if we have any questions, we have Marianne take a look at them. Even doing that, we do sometimes hit a little bit of turbulence kind of going through the process. I had to borrow a VA, and we love our VA deals. I grew up military, served in the military, so we really like helping those VA clients. But I had a military buyer a couple of years back, and we got about a week before closing, and this was we pull credit a few days before closing to just make sure that the buyer has not taken out any additional credit and still qualifies. And we had that conversation with Mike about, hey, before closing, we're going to pull credit, so let's make sure we don't spend any money. Mike didn't hear me say don't spend any money on credit cards. Mike heard me say don't spend any money on savings. So a bit of a miscommunication on my part, I'm sure. And so we pulled credit and we found out that Mike had about an additional 6 grand in credit card debt. And this was a VA deal, as I mentioned. And so I had to call Mike up, and we really just had to scramble in order to restructure the deal. So myself, the processor, also the branch manager, we just rolled up our sleeves and we looked at it, restructured the deal, and then represented it to Mike, redisclosed. He liked it, and then we moved on to closing. So a success in that the mortgages can be difficult. Mortgage process can be difficult. Even when you do your homework, you can have, something that you trip over as you get into the process. But really, the mortgage industry is about, people linking arms, problem solving, communicating what that solution is to everyone, down the line. And then if you got the buy-in from everybody, including your buyer, you redisclose and you ride off into the sunset together. So success story in that we got them in the house and they were super happy, despite the fact that we had a little bit of turbulence along the way.
That's a great success story. That's still had a positive, beautiful ending.
Yes, and we love the ones that go smooth.
Yes,
But you've got to be able to, in the mortgage business, you've really got to be able to think on your toes.
absolutely. So, James, tell me, what are good referrals for you? Who are you looking for in your business?
A great referral would be somebody that's, got a high credit score, 720 or better, has money in the bank, is a W-2 individual. That would be conventional loan. That would be ideal. Um, as far as putting together a deal. But we love our VA deals. You don't have to be 720 to do VA. I don't want to get into qualifications here. We love our FHA buyers. Really, for me, Linda, anybody that is motivated to buy a home is a good referral for me. I've had probably hundreds of people over 20 plus years that have come to me that, maybe they're sitting at 598. And so we do some work to get their scores up above 620. Maybe we do some down payment assistance, like some first-time home buyer. So we definitely love those A paper deals, the 720s, the 20% down, money in the bank. We love those deals, right? But we also, we think it's important to, be in the community and help people that are looking to buy, buy. And I think so many times, at least in my experience, when I talk to those people with the sub 600 scores, so many times they just, they kind of get tossed to the side. And I've had a lot of success with those deals. So, we love the A papers, but we'll work hard on those ones that aren't so pretty, and definitely get them put together and closed.
That's great. So tell me now, when you are not helping everyone get into their dream homes, whether they are A clients or above or a little bit below, what do you like to do for fun?
I just really love being outside. I know it's kind of cliche. We're in Colorado. I'm in Colorado, and that's kind of what everybody says. But you know, in my neighborhood, we have some trails for hiking and mountain biking, and so I like to ride those. I like to work out. So anything hiking, camping, anything like that. But I can also be a bit of a homebody. I do like my space at home. So, reading a book or during the pandemic, sadly, I got back into video games. And so, if I just kind of need to, totally veg out, I'll play some video games. But I really like being outside and being active and, kind of getting some fresh air.
Oh, that's great. And finally, James, if someone could use your services or they know someone that could use our services, how can they reach out to you?
Yeah, give me a call in the office. The best number is 719-638-0531. I'm at extension 104. And if anyone calls me at that number and that extension, really up to 7 or 8 o'clock in the evenings, I'm happy to take the phone call. Evenings and weekends, real estate isn't 24/7, but definitely being available for those clients, whenever their schedule accommodates. So we try to be as available as possible to get those questions answered and get you out there looking, get you excited about buying a house and all that fun stuff. It's a very exciting process.
Great. All right. Well, it has been such a pleasure speaking with you.
Yeah,
I wish
likewise.
you the best of luck and welcome to Network in Action.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it, Linda.
Absolutely. You have a fantastic day.
Yeah, you do the same. Thank you.